Here's one of my favorite little tricks using layer styles, and it helps us do something to fix a sky in a photo. It's something that you can do in camera, just not everybody has a filter to do this. So here's what the problem is. The foreground I think looks pretty good. The sky is it's not quite what I remember. It's not as deep blue and it doesn't have as much detail. So here's what you do. Duplicate the layer, Command or Control J, and then double click that layer. You're going to go to Gradient Overlay. And what we're going to do here is you're going to hit reverse because I want black up top because I want to darken. Obviously, we still just see the gradient, but then change the blend mode over here to soft light. All right, so take a look at the difference here. Okay, that's before. Let's bring it down a little bit and we can see it. That's before, or this is after. This is before. This is after. So the sky looks a lot better. If you don't like soft light, you could try overlay. It's just kind of a punchier version of soft light. I always kind of prefer soft light a little bit more. Now, here's the cool part about this. Let's change it back to normal for a sec. Remember, we can move our cursor over the image. We talked about this in another tip. I can adjust where it goes. I can adjust the scale to make that transition a little bit more harsh if I want to, or spread it out if I want. So let's come over here and change it back to soft light. And now we can actually visually see what this is going to look like on the photo. Bring it down close to the skyline, but not enough to darken it. And one last thing for you. Notice it's brightening the foreground because of the white. The gradient goes black to white. Darker areas get darker, more contrast. Lighter areas get brighter. We'll click on the gradient, go over here to your white color stop, click on the top one, and just drag the opacity to 0. And that way, if you don't want to brighten the foreground, all you have right now is just a black to transparent gradient. Here's where it's cool. We click on New Style. We'll call it Gradient Sky Thingy. We'll hit OK. Hit OK once again, and now I've got it saved as a preset. So if I delete this layer and I'm opening this image up from scratch, Command or Control J to duplicate the layer, all I've got to do is go to my Styles palette, and you'll see that it shows up right at the bottom here. If I hover over it, Gradient Sky Thingy, and just double click on it, or just click on it, and it automatically adds it for you. It is a layer style, so it's editable. So if I want to, I could come over here. I could change the settings. I could change where, maybe it doesn't work for another image. Maybe the horizon line's higher, anything like that. But it's kind of cool because you can save it as a style. So that way, if you ever do need to go in and edit it, you can. And you don't always have to go in there and create the same exact settings over and over again. Saving it as a style keeps it that way. So now it's just one click away.